with this. It will be available via the Growth Hub website, but also Visit Staffordshire, etc. I'm just checking for last minute entries, bear with me. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay, so let's go for it. Share my screen. And hopefully this should work. Can everybody see my screen? Shout out if you would.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
And we'll do it this way. Okay. So welcome everyone. As discussed, this is Staffordshire Day webinar and we are recording at the moment. I'm Claire Roberts and I'm just the compere for today, nobody particularly important. I am the project manager for Staffordshire Day and Staffordshire, the Staffy Trail, which we'll talk about as we're going through. But it's very much a team effort and I welcome my colleagues here today. Before I introduce them though, I just wanted to introduce Staffordshire Day to you. You know, it's Friday the 1st of May, which is next week, but this is the whole weekend and what we like to think is the biggest party of the year. And this year it's the 10th anniversary and we're throwing everything at it. This isn't just about community and community spirit, the sense of Staffordshire. This is about, as much as anything, if not more, ways to get people into your business, whether that's physical location, whether that's online through activities, celebrating the wonderful independent businesses that are out there. And it's a huge opportunity because we've got more resource than we have before in terms of time to support you with promotion through these days. So whether you've been directly involved in Staffordshire Day or not, this is a workshop is about showing you ways and asking you to have a think about ways for your business to benefit from that extensive publicity resource, the buzz that always happens every year. And just to remember that Staffordshire Day is 10 weeks this year. We have what's called activation and theme weeks for 10 weeks. So it isn't just about a day. It isn't just about a weekend. It's about a 10-week activity. Fundamentally, this is about creating a 10-year anniversary journey where every SME is part of the story and that it builds visits, it builds money, and it builds it builds the next visit, the next engagement with your customers. So this is what we're looking like today. I'm just going to introduce you to the rest of the team. I'm going to talk about the Staffy campaign and activities. I'm going to very briefly show you the Staffordshire Day toolkit using Canva and how easy it is to do. I'm going to be introducing the Staffy Trail, but then my colleagues will talk about top tips for benefits, and then we're going to look at developing your plan, themed weeks, your ideas, and how we're here to help. And then we'll go to a Q&A. I would be really grateful if you could leave your questions until the end. We will have time. By all means, put them in the chat area if you would like to just record them, and I'll remember to go through them at the end. But I'll only be picking up ones that are immediately urgent. My brain can't do too many things at once. Okay, so moving swiftly on. So as discussed, I'm Claire Roberts. I'm officially work for the County Council. I've got a marketing and commercial background, and I'm the project manager for all things Staffordshire Day and the Staffy Trail. I'd like you introduced to Zoe Wallace. Hello, Zoe. Do you want to say hello?
Hi, everybody. Nice to
Hi.
meet you.
Zoe is what I like to think as the leading marketer at Ben's Brewhouse. She's also a very valuable member of the Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent local visitor economy partnership on the marketing committee. And a lot of what we're talking about today has come from her brain and her understanding of SMEs. So thank you and welcome, Zoe. Tilly, hello. Would you like to wave?
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Tilly is an award-winning woman in business multiple times over and is at the heart of Staffordshire Day with the delivery, the practical end of delivering the Staffy Trail and has done many different trails that form the basis of a lot of county celebrations. And she's bringing her top tips of how, if you're around the trail, you can actually really benefit from it. But Zoe is going to be talking about how you can benefit wherever you are. I'd also just like to introduce Rachel Wood, who's the manager from the Stoke and Staffordshire Growth Hub. Rachel would like to say hello.
Hi, nice to see you all.
Rachel, and the Growth Hub, if you've not been introduced to the Growth Hub, is there for all businesses in Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent, whether you're starting out or otherwise, and we'll talk a little bit more later. Okay, so I just want to briefly talk about Staffy. Staffordshire Day is a big date in the diary, but it's part of a much bigger campaign. By now, you may have seen or got involved in Staffy in some way. Staffy is now, whoops, bear with me. Previous. Staffy is the Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent visitor mascot. He's an adventurer, he's a storyteller, he sniffs out people, places, businesses, and he's about what makes Staffordshire special. He's helping us to really put Staffordshire as the heart of the county and the nation's playground. You'll know about the Birmingham Bulls, you'll know about Manchester Bees, and hopefully over the next 3 to 5 years, which is when Staffy will be around at least, Staffy will become synonymous with Staffordshire in that way. These characters that that a number of destinations have got, it engages with people in a way that just a kind of picture of a background or a landscape doesn't quite do. Staffy is our storyteller moving forward. We started a campaign to really position Staffordshire as the beating heart of the county, led by Staffy, about a month ago, a digital campaign, and that campaign will continue in a number of different ways for 3 to 5 years, but also already 1 million people have engaged with that video, which is enormous. Staffy is very much already a firm part of Staffordshire's identity, and may that continue. So here's just a few things that we've been doing with Staffy, working with local artists and animators, Carson and Waterman in Stoke-on-Trent. We've got a number of different videos and areas and backgrounds that showcase all the different ways that Staffordshire really is unique, so watch out for those. Okay, so just as a brief summary, we're currently in Staffordshire Destination Awareness Campaign. We've got toolkits that you can use for Staffy. Staffordshire Day, we've got multiple activities that are happening, from the Staffordshire Trail to a great deal of promotion of your businesses, and then we'll go into the 10 weeks. Okay, so moving quickly on. The Staffy Toolkit. So I asked a number of everybody who signed up to this webinar if there was something in particular that you really wanted us to cover. And a few people said, talk to me about the Staffy Toolkit and the Staffordshire Day Toolkit. So essentially, you are, as businesses, absolutely welcome. We'd love you to adopt Staffy. For that, what we've got is a number of ready-made promotional materials, from email footers to Instagram and social media covers and skins, as we call it, but also wonderful things like Staffy in different poses, right from a selfie pose to being proud, as you can see him here, but also, he's there to showcase and support. And as you can see on the right hand side of here, what you've also got is around Staffordshire Day, and you can start promoting yourself now. It's happening all the time from here. You've got the logos, you've got Staffy all incorporated. I'm just going to show you, if the tech will help me to kind of come in now, exactly how I would suggest you use these very quickly. All you need to do is And I'll put the link in the chat as soon as I'm able to. The link to a page that asks you to just sign up, and then you'll be sent these toolkits via large file transfer. All we ask is that you abide by the kind of do's and don'ts, which are very limited. Obviously, Staffy has taken some developing, so it's about brand protection, but please do use it to, showcase your events, showcase your products, showcase your experiences. Very quickly then, I'm just going to show you Canva. If you'll bear with me. Okay, so a number of different things really. What we've got here is the Staffordshire Day posters that come up. So as part of this in Canva, and you can sign up to have a free Canva account. I've got the posh version, but you don't necessarily need it. You can produce things like this. Sorry, these are the Instagram, these are the portrait social media. So what you've got here is basically skins. Okay, so you can have a photo and put a photo there and then literally drag one of the skins over like this. Extend it so that it just by the corners, so it doesn't mess around with the actual size and shape of the logos, etc. But then you've got something that is automatically part of a brand. We will make sure that everything that uses Staffordshire Day 10 or follow Staffy hashtag is retweeted and shared through our different social media accounts that the council and our colleagues have. But how about just, inserting pictures of just your business and just, associating yourself with Staffordshire Day. You might have a discount that you want to put on the day. Absolutely fine. You can put it there. You can put it there. And that is just, you press text, pull it over, and then do whatever you want to there. You can promote areas as well. So an independent street, this is Church Street in Tamworth, we've got Mill Street in Stafford, loads of different places as well. But it's the same principle with the Staffy toolkit here as well. We'd welcome you if you wanted to introduce Staffy as part of this. This is, again, another skin that you can literally just pull over, as long as you don't pull things. And we've done what we can to try and stop this happening, but as long as you keep the proportions the same, that should be absolutely fine. Moving down, so they're the portrait versions. There are, and here's Zoe, she'll be delighted to know that I'm using her example here. Again, this is a skin. So when you get your toolkit, you will be able to pull over from that literally into the area here, and basically then pull it over. So again, this is just me messing around with the picture. So I've got a wonderful picture of Zoe there. When you upload these, you literally click on it and it will appear. Grab the corners to ensure that the dimensions remain in proportion with everything, and you've got a beautifully branded thing there. You can do that for your people, your events. You can write some text in there if you would like to. It might be that the Gatehouse Theatre needs something, and again, we've got different colours, so lots of different colours are available in your toolkit, and just grab the corners. It might be that you want to do a discount. Absolutely, go ahead. Something like that that's got the branding, the hashtag, but also your branding within it is fantastic, and it will go a long way. It'll be really effective. You've also got the poster versions of this, and it's the same thing. What we've got is basically different versions. So when you go into Canva, you can create your own. This is a skin. So you pull it from your uploads and you can pull it to whatever you want. So let me just show you. I'm pressing the wrong computer here. Again, just click on it, pull it through. And then if you wanted to use Staffy here, it's the same thing. pull Staffy over and just position him, making sure that he's got a fair amount of space around him, that he's not, for example, sitting over the Staffordshire Day logo, and that you can see all of him. That's the brand's guidelines. But again, you've got full reign to be able to do what you want. And, you know, having these posters, you can print them out, etc. So it really is that simple, and lots of different versions of it. What I would say is obviously you don't have to be doing discounts for Staffordshire Day to really take off for you. You know, Zoe is going to talk about experience-led benefit from this. Just thought I'd show you Canva and how easy it is. Okay, moving back away from Canva and back into Staffy. Bear with me. Okay, so we've talked a bit about the Staffordshire Day talk and we've had a go. I'm going to be doing, if people want this and let me know, a video just to take people through. So a video that businesses can watch, but hopefully you'll see and realise how easy it is. So I'm just going to move quickly onto the Staffy Trail. So what is that random white dog sitting in the corner there looking a bit weird? This is an exciting time for us. As part of the 10-year anniversary, we've invested heavily into time and resource and funding into an art and heritage trail. You'll have seen these probably around Manchester, etc. Bees, Birmingham. There was the Burton Barrel over in Burton. It's a pretty tried and tested way of getting people into an area, discovering these sculptures, discovering these different areas, and more footfall and dwell time for businesses. So this is across Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent. We've got 10 plus a bonus one in Uttoxeter of these 5-foot selfie height Staffy Bull Terriers of Staffy that have been gloriously, and it's been wonderful to see them come alive, designed by local artists being inspired and working with local schools. So there's 10 of these very, very unique fiberglass, huge Staffy Bull Terriers that will appear around Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent. It's to be supported by an app that will showcase where the sculptures are and also a printed map. But it's not just 11 statues, although that would be great. With each of these trails, there's up to 15 locations. And some businesses have decided to go on the app as well. So as people use the app and they download the app and then they go and find the different staffies, they'll also be discovering the kind of different stories and places around Tamworth, Stafford and Stoke that perhaps they never knew. Whilst we were designing this, and these trails have been designed with people who know heritage and local areas a lot more than me, it was a wonderful experience to find things that, you know, in Stoke and Stafford that I've lived most of my life, to find some wonderful heritage sites. There's an element of gamification with this. People will go round and they will find key four-figure unlock codes, and these staffies themselves, when people find them, will be giving out rewards, etc. So there is Stafford. So in Stoke, there will be a Staffy at Stoke Minster, in the Stoke Goods Yard, and in Hanley Park. In Stafford, there'll be one just outside Victoria Place, Staffordshire Place, 1 Market Square. And in Tamworth, there'll be St Edith's Church, Market Square and Ladybridge. But the trails themselves will be largely town centred. And they will start being installed next week, which is great. So I want to show you just very, very quickly, because I'm aware of time, the reaction that we're getting. So why should you bother about Staffordshire Day? Why should you care? The best illustration that we can do is actually probably this one that I'll show you for time, which is our video of how Tilly's artists work with Marshbrook First School to develop Staffy. Staffy has had more press per project than we've ever had before as a county council. The engagement on social media has been more than we've ever had before. Staffy is loved. This is something to get on with. So just indulge me while I spend just a minute showing you this. Hopefully you can hear it.
I'm having this much fun.
So I'm here today to help these children design a Staffy dog sculpture. So the workshop is all about what content we're going to put on. We've thought about our theme, which is Staffordshire brands, and all about canals and communities in the area. We've also thought about all the special brands that are in Staffordshire, like the potteries, people like Emma Bridgewater, and even looking at the kind of patterns that you might find on the pottery and how we can incorporate that into the design.
I decided to just think of stuff from like kind of Stafford, because we've got like an old cake here, we've got like a roller coaster here, we've got like a boat from like the canal, and we even got some shoes.
The children have been so enthusiastic today and they've really given me some good ideas, so really excited to see what it's going to turn out like in the end. Yeah.
Okay, so for time, you can watch the other one at your leisure, but it's not just the community that are on board with Staffy and are really waiting for families, etc., to go around the trail, but we've also got huge interest from a number of different places. You know, these Staffys are sponsored and purchased by a number of businesses from Trentham to colleges, etc., who recognise the value this is going to bring. But also a lot of kind of SMEs have got on board with the trail in terms of recognising that they are going to see a lot more people coming through. So through our activation weeks, we're really going to be pulling on a lot of people, families, cyclists, runners, walkers, community groups who like trains to move around the county. These trails are purposely connected by public transport as well. So I'm rabbling on a bit. I'm now going to hand you over to Tilly Bancroft, and I'll manage your slide, Tilly. Tilly, as described, is a lady.
I'm having
Oh
this
dear.
much
We're
fun.
designing a mascot for the
Oh, we
Staffy.
don't want that one. Tilly is the pioneer behind all of these trails, and she's from Making Trails over in Burton. I'd just like to hand over to Tilly just to talk through from her experience of years of doing this. If you're in the trail or near it, then how you can make the very best of it. Over to you, Tilly.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for the introduction, Claire. Yes, we have been doing trails for quite a number of years now, right up and down the UK. So we have got the privilege of quite a lot of experience on how to encourage the SME community to get the most out of the trail that's nearby them. So whether or not your business is bricks and mortar, or whether it's completely digital, or whether it's a mix of both, there are things that you can be doing to encourage that elusive additional footfall and dwell time and all those good things. And also economic spend. That's one of the things that really does improve, and there's a noticeable uptick in whenever we do a trail in an area is a boost to economic spend. So how can you make the most of this? Well, number one, as you can see on my slides, is dress your window to impress. And I don't just mean your physical shop window, although that is super helpful if you are on the trail. I also mean your digital shop window, your website or your social media. As Claire really nicely introduced and demonstrated a moment ago, there are assets available that you can make sure that people know that you're involved, that you are, you know, part of this bigger campaign, and you're helping to celebrate Staffordshire Day. So do dress your window to impress. If you put a splash of Staffy on your shop front, do think about inventive ways of doing that. Use all of the assets that are available to you, but you can think outside the box as well. Add some paw prints, think Staffordshire Day colours, think themed displays, or even a mini Staffy stop in your window to catch people's eye. The second one is create a trail themed offer. Now, this is a really good one because what it does do is it encourages people who are already out and about, already in the mindset of doing the trail, to have a little stop where you are. You can encourage visitors through your door with a special discount, freebie, bundle, or just a simple show us your Staffy selfie, so that you don't necessarily have to give them something in return. It can just be we'd love to see. Number 3 is be a pit stop. Not all businesses are in a position to do this, but if you are, and you become a welcome break along the route, then that's a really wonderful thing to shout about, whether it's a coffee, cake, lunch, a quick browse. Don't forget, if you're a shop, you don't necessarily have to be a cafe to be a pit stop along the route. It's a really nice thing to encourage visitors to pop in and to stay for a bit longer as well. Number 4, get social and shout about it. So this is really important one, but it's so often overlooked. Or sometimes people only do it once and think that's enough. Don't forget, your trail is not a one-off, one-day thing. It's over a period of time. So you need to be doing this on a regular basis and perhaps shout out about a different thing in different weeks. And there are various ways of us being able to help you with that content generation, but I'll leave that for Claire to talk about the themes later. But if you are getting social and shouting about it, you want to share your involvement. So that involvement might be that you are a Staffy supporter or you're part of the Staffy squad. You know, think of fun hashtags that you can use as well as the ones that are already out there. Post photos, behind the scene prep, team selfies with a Staffy. So whichever Staffy is closest to you, go get your team out there, post a selfie with them. It's about encouraging people to get involved with it, but also encouraging people to know that you are involved with it as well. Number 5, host something special. If you are in a position to do so, if you run a small event or a workshop or themed day, and it doesn't have to be big, a Staffy Saturday or a kids activity or colouring sheets or anything like that is a really lovely way of, again, positioning yourself as part of the trail and encouraging people to, whilst they're out and about doing the trail, come to you. Number 6, and I am just razzing through these. You can always chat to me later about this if anybody has got any questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. But for now, let me plough on. We're nearly there. Number 6, team up with neighbours. This is a really good thing to do, not only because it encourages that sense of community in the businesses in your area, but it's a nice way of creating a little bit of a buzz or a splash around your specific location. So you might want to collaborate with your nearby businesses, create a joint offer maybe, or a shared display, or a cluster of activities. All of these things really do help to put you guys on the map as well. Number 7, celebrate local creativity. If you are a local maker or you want to showcase local makers, artists or products, then this is your opportunity to do so. Because, you know, Staffordshire has so many fantastic creative businesses. It's really wonderful to be able to showcase them. And also, you know, if you're giving other people a platform, they'll do the same for you in return. Number 8, make it easy to find you. Right, so here's a good one. If you are near a sculpture, definitely highlight that. You can just put a post out that says Staffy spotted nearby, or again, that team selfie with your Staffy. But it's a really great way of positioning yourself in relation to the trail. So if you know that you are near or next street away from a Staffy, that kind of thing, then highlight it on socials, on your website, to people who are coming into your shop as well. And give visitors a reason to step inside. So you have to be quite proactive in this, and a clear hook really does work wonders. So you might say there's a free sample or a trail only deal or something that really encourages people to step through your threshold. Trail visitors welcome is a really quick and easy way of making sure that people come inside. And the last one, and this is always overlooked, is track what's working for you, whether it's putting up posters or displays and being able to see whether or not that has impacted your footfall and your dwell time. But also on social media, there are plenty of really good free tools out there, a lot of them actually owned by the social media sites themselves, that you can use to see whether or not what you're doing is making an impact. You can only know whether or not you've reached your goals if you track that. So have a really good, clear set of wants. It might be that actually I want to use this opportunity in this trail to increase our following on Instagram, for example. If that is your number one goal over the weeks of the trail, then you need to be able to track that and see whether or not you've achieved it. And my absolute favourite thing to do is halfway through the trail, have a look at what you've done so far. is it working? And if it's not getting the results that you're hoping for, you can tweak your campaign, you can tweak your ideas. So that was a very, very quick whistle tour of all of those particular points. But these are the things that we've generally found that SMEs can do to really get involved and make a difference to their business during a trail.
Thank you, Tilly. Wonderful stuff. Absolutely. And we've seen this in collaboration, you know, the introduction of Tilly in the trail has, and, you know, the posts that come out from various trails really do send small businesses their reach incredibly far, and really does draw an audience. So please do think of these different things. Thank you. Okay, so I'd like to well, just before we go to Zoe, I'd just like to check in with our audience very quickly. Is anybody got any burning questions right now that they want to ask anybody so far? If so, please do shout out. Otherwise, I'll continue. Okay, fine. So, okay, so I'd like to introduce our next colleagues. So, Zoe Wallace from Bent's Brewhouse over in Eccleshall really has really been incredibly helpful and has designed basically a strategic program, and developed thoughts, ideas, processes in terms of how anybody, whether they're on the trail or not, can benefit as an SME. Zoe, I'd like to hand over to you. I'll control your slides if you just let me know when you're ready to go to the next slide. Over to you, Zoe.
Okay, thanks, Claire, and thank you for that introduction. I warn everybody now, I feel like I've had a disproportionate amount of caffeine for the time of morning, so I may talk quite quickly. If you find that I'm going too fast, please just let me know. But we have got quite a bit to get through, and I know that everybody's busy. So my name's Zoe Wallace. There's a slide at the end of this deck that's got a whole bit of bump around my business, which is Bents Limited, and it's also got my contact details on should you want to reach out to me for any reason after we've finished today. So I'm not going to go through all the detail and the background that's in there, but there are a couple of things that I do think it's worth mentioning just in this context. So first and foremost, I own and operate the Little George in Eccleshall. If you haven't visited it yet, come on down. It's an award-winning coffee lounge, bar and boutique hotel. And also my background is in software development and business support consultancy. So hospitality is a diversion for me, and a very pleasant diversion, but over the many years, and I won't give my age away here, but over many years, I've worked with businesses all across the world and government organisations all across the world, helping businesses start up, develop, grow and be profitable. Now, why all of that matters is in the context of Staffordshire Day, I think it's fair to say that in the environment in this country, I'm going to express it in a positive way, is a little bit challenging for businesses at the moment. But with every challenge comes opportunity. So whether you are experiencing margins being squeezed from business rates, from national living wage changes, cost of goods increasing, tariffs, green levies, to name but a few, we are recognising that. And this is why we're all here today, to see how we can work with everyone as an SME, of which I am also one, to make Staffordshire Day work for you. So there's a couple of things that I really want you to take from what's happening today. First and foremost is the applicability of Staffordshire Day for your business, whatever sector that you're in. How can you make it best work for you? And by that, I mean, look at what your offer is. Look at the things that you may want to introduce to your offer, or indeed go a third step further and look at what the themed weeks are and think, how could that apply to my offer? Or is there an opportunity here for me to tweak things so I can bring things in? The second thing, in a very wide sense, is the broad opportunity that Staffordshire Day brings for every single SME across the county. And by that, I'm thinking about PR opportunities, social media opportunities, cross-promotion, the chance to piggyback on a significant reach that is sitting there from Visit Staffordshire, Staffordshire County Council, and all of the myriad of channels that they've got. If you look literally, I had a quick nosy at the Facebook following across Visit Staffordshire and Staffordshire County Council, and collectively you're looking at about 60,000, allowing for a little bit of overlap there. So if you're not at a point where you've got 60,000 followers on your Facebook, all of a sudden you've got a chance to hit a significant proportion more, and that's before we start thinking about things like Instagram and any other channels. When the invite came out from Claire, there was a document attached to it, which if you haven't yet seen it, I'd encourage you all to go and circle out if that's okay. So the point of that document, it's a Word document, it's editable, but it's about helping you develop your marketing plan over the next 10 weeks, drawing on the levers that Staffordshire Day is making available. If you haven't got it open at the minute, I'll give you a few minutes to find it. Whilst you grab it, I just want to talk you through this model that's showing on this slide, which are the yellow boxes on the left-hand side. So it's presented here in a linear fashion, but I'd like you to view it as a cyclical one. And the reason I'm saying that will become clear as I talk you through it. So in every business, step one, the important thing is, how do we find customers? Some of this is really obvious, but sometimes the obvious things are the best things to actually have in your mind. So how do we find customers? How do people know that you exist in the first place? And once they know that you exist, how do you get them? How do you translate that so they're either walking through your shop from visiting your digital shop front, whatever it might be? Once you've got them there, how do you keep them for as long as possible and spending as much as possible with you? And then the last step is, how do you get them to come back to you later? And not just that, talk about you in a positive way, because if they talk about you in a positive way, that then helps other customers know that you exist, which creates the cycle of churning and organic growth for your business. Now, hopefully you've had a chance to find that Word document out while I've been running through that model. And what you will see from that Word document is that every week of Staffordshire Day is about ticking at least one of those boxes in that model there. So whether it be finding people, getting them through your door, keeping them in a non-kidnap sense, and getting them to return and talk about you positively, every week is an opportunity to tick at least one of those boxes. I'm just going to talk quickly through the columns that are in the Word document. So we've obviously got the weeks that are numbered, starting with the launch over a bank holiday weekend. Then we've got each of the themes that are there, which have been devised by the Visit Staffordshire team. We've got a column that's how you'll see it talked about. Now, some of these themes can be a little bit abstract for some of our SME businesses. There will be elements that you'll look at and think, I don't understand how that can practically apply to me. And these are just what we've done with the Word document, is looked at how we can expand that out and start to think laterally, sideways, upwards, downwards, whichever way, and employ the English language to best effect, so you can start to see how it might apply in the context of what it is that you do. Now, you will obviously know your businesses a heck of a lot better than I do from this short interaction, and you will have ideas that immediately jump out, or ideas that may develop from starting to think about things in a different way. And I'm going to give you an example of one of these. If we take week 2, as we can see on this slide, which is Care and Comfort Week, Fostering Week. As soon as I saw that, as an SME operating a hospitality business, I thought, what the blooming heck am I going to say that's relevant in the context of care, comfort and fostering? I don't know what to say. I haven't got members of the team that maybe fall within that category, and I'm certainly not going to go walking around to all of my customers go, please, is there somebody that can help me find something to say? So what we've done as a business is look more widely about what that means. So we've got taken it from a community aspect. Now, I guarantee that every single business sitting on here is doing some element of community interaction. So as the Little George, we've got a lot of stuff that takes place around reducing isolation, encouraging, we've got chatty cafe tables so people can come in and they've got someone to talk to. If they're otherwise on their own, we've got clubs that take place, we run events, we champion the local community first responders, but there will be other elements that you have in your business if you think about it in the context of community rather than kids and fostering. So don't think about it in a straight line. If you've got any kind of corporate social responsibility agenda, there will be something there that you can talk about that is relevant for week 2. I'm not going to go through every week on this because it'll keep us here for a long time. And quite frankly, we haven't got it. But each week in that Word document breaks it down a little bit further, and it focuses around experience-led discussion that you can be having. It gives you an excuse to talk to your customers, actual or potential. This is not to say the ideas in there are the only ideas you can have. Come up with your own, absolutely do that. And it's also not to say you can't introduce elements of discount or promotion if you want to, but what I'm very keen on is that we don't all go down the route of focusing just purely on competing on cost or price or offers like that, because it doesn't do any SME good in the long run. So look at what else you can say. There may also, by the way, as a caveat to all of this, be some weeks where you go, I've literally got nothing to talk about, in which case don't shoehorn something in. There may also be some weeks where you go, actually, my ideas here also apply in 3 weeks' time, in which case let's run the campaign again. That's absolutely fine to do, not a problem at all. So what I'd suggest you do is a little bit of quick homework after this session. Within the Word document, you'll notice there's a blank column, which is for you to start to jot down your ideas. So literally bullet points, what could I talk about each week? Once you've done that, then start crafting your messages for it. So what is it you're going to put out there to talk to people through your social media channels? There are a number of tools you can use to help you with this. So Claire's very kindly shown us Canva in terms of creating your imagery. We are a business that uses Canva. I am a big champion of it. And it's like having a graphic designer at your fingertips. It's brilliant. But there are other tools as well that you can bring in. Crafting your messages, though, can sometimes be a little bit of hard work because you know what you're trying to get out there, but you've actually got to sit there and come up with the right wording for it. So what I would advise is consider using an AI option to help you craft those messages. There are a number out there that you can either pay for. So there's things like Grok, which is the X version, a Twitter version, an AI platform where you can kind of type in the key areas, your bullet points, what you're trying to get out. Or there's a freemium version of which you'll probably all be quite familiar with, ChatGPT. Now, if you do use one of these to create it, just a few words of warning, I would say. First and foremost, they can come out a little bit American. So just be mindful of the words and the language that pops out of them. Secondly, is that you've spent a long time building up your brand value and your brand and figuring out how you want to talk to your customers. ChatGPT or any of these AI models will not know your brand values. So just please bear that in mind. And the third one is the emojis. Personally, nothing turns me off faster than seeing something on social media that's just completely covered in emojis and it's a dead giveaway that you've used one of these AI platforms. So what I am saying to you is use it, let it do the legwork, then spend 30 seconds sanitizing it back into UK, your brand values, and ripping out emojis that you don't think are relevant for you. And then you've got your message crafted. Add that alongside using your Canva templates, schedule stuff in your socials, and you're ready to go. The other dimension to this, and the final dimension, is the far column that you can see, which is lovely entitled How We Can Help You. So what we are keen to have is your content, essentially. How can we help you get in front of people? And yes, we will be cross-sharing your social media posts and anything you pop up there, as long as you put the hashtags in, because that's what we're scanning for. But we're also looking for stories that we can put out through PR channels. So think printed media, think radio opportunities, think broader. How do you get in front of more people through those channels? And if you've got any stories at all that are relevant for each week, then we would like to know about it. This is the 10 years of Staffordshire Day. We want to be talking about everybody. It doesn't matter if your business hasn't been going for 10 years. If it has, great, there's a 10-year overlay on it. If it hasn't, you are still part of the 10-year story of what makes Staffordshire really, really special. So just have a ponder on what those stories might be, and then drop Claire, I'm dropping you in the frame here, but drop Claire a note.
Feeling fine, yeah.
In terms of what your stories are, and we can help push those out for you through relevant channels. From the beginning of this, we've talked about Staffordshire as the nation's playground, and geographically, we're obviously all very much aware that Staffordshire is it's at the nation's heart, but it's the stories you're going to come up with, it's the stories you've got to tell, and your businesses and your people that are going to create pride of place, and it's that pride of place that's really going to put Staffordshire in the heart of the nation. So please do not be shy, share with us anything that you've got, because it's all about making sure people know that we're here and know that this is the best place to come to. Has anybody got any questions for me? I have rattled through that quite quickly.
No, it doesn't look like it, Zoe. Okay, so we'll move on. Zoe, thank you very much. That was just so beautifully put. Okay, so we'll just move on, just as a summary then. So what I've picked up from this conversation today, the main bullet points we just want you to take away really is Staffordshire Day, big opportunity, whatever business you're in, whether you're close proximity to the Staffy Trail or not. This is the biggest buzz. There are so many opportunities. And through the Visit Staffordshire and the County Council, we have some expertise to support, you know, businesses fundamentally make up the vast majority of the economy, vast majority of our population are associated with SMEs. Why wouldn't we want to help you? We want to celebrate those wonderful stories that you've got. It doesn't have to be a huge headline either. You know, it can be that you've got a new product, you've got something out there that you just want to show that might not make the headlines of the news, but with so many different communications channels that are available these days, we just want to hear from you and we'll work it out from there together. It's 10 weeks. This isn't just a day. Staffordshire Day lasts 10 weeks, and those themed weeks do really give everybody a lot of opportunity. We are looking for stories all over the place, so please just spend a few minutes just jotting down, and we'd love to hear from you. Use our toolkit and use the top tips that we talked about today. They will automatically help to make you, you know, part of the brand and really get some real benefit from those. And remember to use Staffy. He's there to help in exactly this way. Remember, when you're posting on social media, in whatever way you do that, please do remember to use the hashtag #FollowStaffy and/or Staffordshire Day 10. Don't worry about tagging us in, that's a pain. But if you use the hashtag, we'll be scanning that, as Zoe says, and we'll be resharing your content as far as and wide as we're able to do in a way that isn't going to kind of flood the system. So it might be that you post one day and then we save it for a couple of days after if it's not time sensitive. So, but please do use that hashtag. We're here to help you bring those stories alive. And so hopefully we hope that you've had some ideas there of how you can get involved, how easy it can be to get benefit from Staffordshire Day, which is all fundamentally about community, business, shouting about how great Staffordshire is. I'd just like to just check in with Rachel from the Growth Hub at this point. Rachel, if you've got any comments that you want to just say as a business leader?
Yeah, I think obviously as the Growth Hub, we are the first point of contact for any business support in Stoke and Staffordshire. But I think what we are really, really good at doing in our area is that collaboration and about strength in numbers and unlocking some of these opportunities. So the more that we can get on the back of this, the better. And it's going to be that commitment to helping our local economy, but also just getting that message out there about Staffy as well. For the Growth Hub, we're here for any business, no matter what size, sector, location, age. If you've got a problem and you want us to help you through that, then we are here. We've got a helpline, 0300 111 8002, or you can drop us an email as well. So we're backing the Staffy Trail and the Staffordshire Day all the way. So you will see the Growth Hub working with the team and making sure that more businesses are aware of it as well, and just to create that noise in the area. I'd love to see if we could get Central News or BBC Midlands Today along on the 1st of May. So maybe I've set you a challenge there, Claire. Let's get some noise in the region.
Yeah, you've got it. You've got it. Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to put everything that we can into this. But, you know, with the Growth Hub as well, remember everyone that you have got expert support there as well.
Yeah.
At this point, I just want to hand over to Zoe. Do you want to just touch on your business before we go to the Q&A?
I politely appreciate the opportunity, but I think I'll let people have a nosy through it, if that's all right.
No problem at all. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing, everyone. At this point, we have about 7 minutes left. I'd like to dedicate that to any questions or any questions about anything at all related to this that you would like to put to myself or the panel. Please raise your hand. Also check in the chat as well. Okay, Zoe has a comment or a question for people.
I do. It's just a point of clarity I think that might be helpful. So we talked about the 10 weeks and obviously Staffordshire Day launching on the 1st of May. But for example, week 2, which is Care and Comfort Week, is there a set schedule of dates for when each week launches, just to tie in to make sure stuff's going out at the right time?
Yes, absolutely. And what I'll do after this is circulate those dates. Generally, what we do, everyone, is from the first Friday, which is next week on the Friday, obviously that's Staffordshire Day. We will then announce on a Friday what the theme is for the forthcoming week to everybody else. However, you will know that now. We know what that is now. So when I circulate this along with a quick feedback form, I'll make it clear when those dates are. Reality, you can post whenever you want, but it will make the message clearer. One of the other things that's worth doing at this point as well is just highlighting that I will be sending out kind of more of a business toolkit as well. And it's going to ask people to do what you used to call a thunderclap in the old ages. So about 10 o'clock on Friday morning on Staffordshire Day, if everybody can post using that hashtag, that means that we've got a higher chance of trending over social media. So again, I'll send out some ideas for people as part of that. Thank you. Anybody else? Yeah, so there's some talk about the Staffy Trail, and we've got some talk about a Staffy dog rescue. So I'm just going to send over to Rescue Renovation, please. Hi there. Oh, I think you're still on mute.
There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm Kate from Senior Staffy Club. We've just bought a kennels just on Beacon side, and we're renovating it to be a rescue centre for staffies. So we thought we'd get involved, as it's a Staffy Trail. But obviously we're not a business, we're a charity. So we're kind of looking for adopters, fosters, volunteers, and just to raise our presence in the area, basically. So any ideas on how that could be done? We can't have people on the site at the moment because it's been renovated, so there's not an opportunity to do that, unfortunately. I just wondered whether, are you having kind of stalls on May the 1st or?
So there are a number of different events going on around the county. Yeah, so in Stafford, for example, we are at the event that's happening at Market Square from 11 o'clock. It's been opened by the mayor. We're going to be there. But there are lots and lots of different events that are being held by different attractions, and also community events and family hubs and GPs. We've invited everybody to see if they want to put on events. So you know, I would recommend that you do the same. Come along and see us in Stafford, but there'll be something near you, and we'll be advertising where those events are very shortly over press and social media. But if you have an event, you can also register it on the Visit Staffordshire website, and we'll make sure that you are included in the wider promotion of that.
Yeah. I was going to say we struggle to have an event because we haven't got a premises we could do anything at.
Come along. I'll be. I know that you're in Stafford there, so come along to Stafford and spend some time with us. You're all very welcome. as an example of how we can help, we're helping rescue. You know, we've been talking for a while, and what we're going to be doing is taking rescue down to the National Memorial Arboretum. It's been renamed, but down in Tamworth, who will be meeting Sergeant Watchman, who's a social media influencer in his own right, and also the ambassador for what was the Staffordshire Regiment. And we'll have somebody in a suit down there. This is the kind of press that we can do if we know about things, what's going on with you. So we're essentially helping the first Staffordshire Bull Terrier rescue to happen in Staffordshire. Come to us with your ideas, and we can see what we can make happen.
Claire,
Thank
may
you.
I just add something to that? So, Kate, I don't know how practicable stuff like this would be. But don't think of yourself in isolation is what I would say. So for example, is there a complementary or alternative business where you could host an event with them? So at the Little George, we've held events at our venue where we actually did something that we called woofs, which was a kind of local version of crafts, but things like Waggy's tail and best treat catcher, and you know, something more simplistic. I understand that you're a rescue centre, so stuff like that may not be the answer, but there could be venues like ours where you could perhaps take some of your dogs to and then have a chance to chat and interact with the local community. If Staffordshire was of interest, and I'm more than happy to have a conversation about that as well.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much for being in touch.
Thank you, Zoe. And that's an open invitation to everybody. If you would like to discuss some ideas, we're all ears. We'll help as much as we can. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Unless there's anything else that we would like to kind of ask or say, I'll bring this webinar to a close. Thank you for spending your lunchtime with us. I'd be grateful if you could fill in the feedback form that comes out afterwards, and of course we'll make sure that you've got links to request the toolkit. But have a wonderful Staffordshire Day plus 10 weeks. Make the best of it, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Claire.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.